Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm reviewing something I think is a very special pen. This pen comes from the brand Wancher. Wancher is a Japanese fountain pen brand, and the pen we are looking at today is this. This is the Wancher Mine. This is the purple grey finish. As you can see, it's got these beautiful swirls of purples and greys in this beautiful ebonite material. So I'm going to talk about the parts and features of this pen. I'm going to do a writing sample, and then we'll talk about some pros and cons. But first, I want to show how the pen comes packaged. So this is the pen box. It's a lovely wooden, light wooden box with their typical Wancher sort of stuff on the front. And it comes with a little, nice little pen kimono and a little, bag of a couple of ink cartridges, and of course on the inside of this box there's the QR code and everything for the instruction manual, and I love that. I love it's all there ready to go. Wancher do really beautiful things with how they package and present all of their pens. So as I said, this is a really special pen. Now the camera is going to struggle with this because it has such a beautiful high gloss finish on this ebonite. So yeah, we'll have to deal with that unfortunately, but you can see all that beautiful intricate detail of this swirling ebonite. Now ebonite is a natural rubber material mixed with like a volcanic resin. It's super sturdy, it's robust, and this comes from the Nikko ebonite range, and this is a beautiful, beautiful material, and so the purple grey. It also comes in a marble green as well. This is a fairly sort of standard size and shape from Wancher, but it does some really beautiful things. So let's start at the top. Now there's this beautiful peaked finial there. Now if I can show, you can just see the swirls of that ebonite material right down into the tip there, which is beautiful. The cap continues along, little step down onto the barrel, which continues and tapers ever so slightly, and then we get this sort of rounded end, which once again shows off the beauty of that material. Okay, it is a screw cap and it comes off in about 1 3/4 turns, which I think is pretty fine. There's a very gentle step down onto some black threads there, and then we get the same ebonite material for the section, and then a number 6 Yovo steel nib here. And mine is a medium, and it's got the engraved or the lasered Wancher logo on the face of it. This is a really beautiful classic pen. It's very simple lines and very elegant, but it really, really packs a lot of punch, I think. A fun feature of this pen and of a number of Wancher pens is the spring inner cap. You can feel a little cushioned sort of approach in there as you put the pen in, and that spring cap, it sits very tight over the nib, keeping it nice and wet, stops it from drying out. And actually you can feel the point of release on that spring as you unscrew the pen as well. Now this is a standard international cartridge converter, and both are provided. So we'll get some cartridges as you saw earlier, and a lovely converter here, which makes this pen ready to go for all your inking needs. So for the size comparison, you can see it's a little longer there than the Lamy Safari and just slightly girthier. It's got a lovely size in the hand. Uncapped, it's just ever so slightly shorter there than the Lamy Safari, but it does have a number 6 size nib. So if you put sort of like end of section to end of section, the Lamy does come out a little bit longer there, but you've got a nice size nib on the Wancher. Now, the Wancher does post, but it posts very, very long and not particularly deep, although it does post quite securely. And because the weight variance of this pen, it doesn't feel off balance at all. It just becomes very long. So what are the dimensions? Well, it's 148 millimeters when it's posted. It's 131 when it's unposted. So it's a good length pen, good size. Not too many people are going to need to write with this pen posted. As I said, it does post, and it posts relatively securely enough. And it comes in at 190 millimeters. So really a big, big long pen there. But the balance is actually still okay-ish. Now, it's got a section that is about 12 millimeters in the middle, which is very comfortable, and around the cap is about 16 millimeters. So it's not a small pen. The weight of the pen is 33 grams, 24 in the body and 9 in the cap. So that, as I said, the balance always feels pretty good. Now, this is a relatively heavy pen for an ebonite body pen. They tend to be rather light, but because of the volcanic resin, I think, in this material, it just gives it a little bit more weight in the body, which is very nice. Okay, time for a writing sample now with the Wancher. Fountain pen. This is the purple grey with a medium number 6 Yovo steel nib. The ink in this today is Diamine Oxford Blue. Now, this pen writes quite smooth. There's a little bit of feedback, but it's not unpleasant, but it is very smooth. And I think it writes on the wetter side. No issues there. I've had no problems with hard starts, no problems with, any sort of ink starvation or anything like that. Quick writing. No issues whatsoever. As I said, wetness is pretty good. Like, it's not the wettest pen, but I think it lays down a nice amount of ink, and it certainly lays down quite a generous medium line. Reverse writing is possible, and flex or soft or line variation, not so much. This is a really beautiful pen. It writes beautifully, and it's a lovely pen to feel in the hand. It's got a nice size and a nice weight. So for consistent everyday writing, you really can't go past Wancher. Plain Yovo steel nib, but a beautiful pen. So what does the Wancher mean in the purple grey ebonite cost? Well, it's $215 US, which is at the moment, as I'm filming, about 337 Australian dollars. It is not an inexpensive pen. It is up there in price, particularly for a steel nib using a cartridge converter filling system, but you are getting a beautiful material, and you are getting a well-made, beautifully polished and finished pen that writes just absolutely beautifully. So while it is at a relatively high price point, I think you're getting a pretty good pen for that money. Okay, let's talk pros and cons. I find it really hard to find cons for this pen. I think it's really hard to, but I suppose the only thing is that this version doesn't have a clip, and things like roll stops and things are extra on the pen. So if you're after that, check out what they can offer, but this may not be the pen for you if that is what you desire. But I think this line of pen, this beautiful, clean, minimalist sort of design, unadorned with anything, is actually absolutely beautiful. Okay, so what are the pros? Well, I love the packaging. Wancher make their pens an experience. Opening it up, feeling that, the way the wood is under your fingers, and then holding the pens for the first time, it's a really lovely experience. I adore this material. Like, if you look at the end there, you've got these lovely sort of striations and swirls in that beautiful ebonite material. And then, of course, on the end there, that like a little galaxy of a swirl of the ebonite there, just absolutely glorious. Really enjoyable. And a pen that you find yourself just looking at. I really like the nib. It's reliable, it's smooth, it's relatively wet. It does all the things you'd want it to. It writes. It's a fountain pen. It should write. And this one really does. I really enjoy the comfort of that cushioned cap. Just knowing that your nib is going to be kept wetter for longer. It feels comforting. And as I said, I've had no problems with hard starts or anything. So, yeah. Clearly it works. The other thing I love is the size and weight of this pen in the hand. It is a bigger pen. It's not a small pen, but it's not oversized. It's a big regular size pen, if that makes sense. And the weight of the pen, because it's got a slightly heavier ebonite material, it feels great in the hand. I really enjoy writing with this pen. I've gone back to it over the last few weeks. It's just been a joy to use. So a big thank you to Wancher for sending this out for review, as well as a number of other pens. I've really enjoyed our collaboration and looking forward to continuing it. They make beautiful pens, and so if you're not familiar with the brand, check them out. They're worth looking at. So please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all of that stuff. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there is a way you would like to support my channel, I would love to hear from you. It's your support that makes this channel possible. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.